Hello, YouTube. I'm Dr. Ronald W. Satz, founder and chair of the International Society of Unified Science and president of TransPower Corporation, a commercial and custom software manufacturing and certified systems engineering company, and an engineering and management consultancy. Today we're going to look at some more confirmations of the reciprocal system of theory. First up is this very large quasar blast, which was reported in Science Daily back in 2012. So let's look at this. Science Daily says, quote, biggest black hole blast discovered, most powerful quasar outflow ever found. Well, dear, nothing supposedly comes out from a black hole. But my opponents in conventional physics keep telling us, well, quasars are powered by black holes. Well, that's garbage. They're powered by ongoing supernova explosions. So I'm going to go down here just to look at the summary. It says here, astronomers using ESO's Very Large Telescope, VLT, have discovered a quasar with the most energetic outflow ever seen, at least 5 times more powerful than any that have been observed to date. Quasars are extremely bright galaxy centers powered by supermassive black holes, which, parenthetically, that's nonsense. Many blast huge amounts of material out into their host galaxies, and these outflows play a key role in the evolution of galaxies. That's also nonsense. But until now, observed quasar outflows weren't as powerful as predicted by theorists. Actually, what's going on is the quasars were a result of supernovae explosions from huge galactic explosions. Then the quasars themselves start exploding supernovae type 2, and that material eventually leaves our material sector for the other half of the universe, the cosmic sector. So that's the real truth. So what's going on with this particular quasar is that it's discombobulating. The material is leaving our sector for the cosmic sector. Okay, let's look at number 2. Supernovae type 1a are really just novae. Now this is kind of interesting, so let's go look at this. This is from the UC Santa Barbara Current, Science and Technology. It says, new findings show some type 1a supernovae linked to novae. Well, white dwarfs don't explode as supernovae, they explode as novae. And by the way, white dwarfs are not a dead end. They don't turn into black dwarfs. White dwarfs actually expand back to the main sequence. So what this says here, the authors conclude there are multiple ways to make a type 1a supernova, a finding that could have implications for understanding the differences seen in the standard candles. Standard candle should be supernovae type 1, not necessarily 1a. And by the way, the differences between the different supernovae types within type 1 have to do with which element is doing the fissioning. Okay, anyway, now what's interesting here is that they say a red giant loses some of its outer layers through stellar wind, and some of it forms a disk around a companion white dwarf star. This is utter nonsense. The white dwarf is expanding back to the main sequence, so gas pressure builds up in the center and explodes out, forming the novae. That's what's really going on here. There's no transfer from the red giant to the white dwarf. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Rare particle decay upsets supersymmetry theory. So let's look at this one. Supersymmetry means it's even more bizarre than the standard theory. It says here, popular physics theory running out of hiding places. Researchers at the Large Hadron Collider, LHC, have detected one of the rarest particle decays seen in nature. Supersymmetry predicts heavy versions of all the particles we know about. Superparticles, wow. This is another crackpot invented theory of modern physics. It's not inductive in the least. So it says also, supersymmetry may not be dead, but these latest results have certainly put it into the hospital. Well, it's a nonsensical theory. Let's go back and I'll show you what my response is. BS meson decays to two muons, or new mesons. What is the big deal here? In the reciprocal system, we can identify the BS meson as probably a CH2, that's cosmic deuterium, with 4 material gravitational charges. It can then decay to 2 muons, which are really C argon, with 2 material gravitational charges. The mass energy remaining is equivalent to a C beryllium with 1 gravitational charge. Reciprocal mass is equal to, now here's the equation, 1862.95 divided by N plus 0.5 times G plus I times 931.478 MeV per C squared, where N is the cosmic atomic number, G is the cosmic number of gravitational charges, and I is equal to the number of material gravitational charges. Present-day theories say that very heavy particles should be found in decay products, but this recent CERN experiment shows that that is unlikely. From the standpoint of the reciprocal system, it's rather difficult to imagine a cosmic particle heavier than what's been calculated for BS here, and that's 5366.3 MeV per C squared. Of course, energy may be converted to any material atom, such as cesium, which would obviously be much heavier, but it's not a cosmic or antiparticle. So sometimes when we get these heavy particles out, what they're actually creating are material, radioactive material particles, not really cosmic particles. Alrighty, and we got one more to go here. Experimental proof of compound motion and radiation. So kudos to the experimenters for verifying the reciprocal system understanding radiation. A photon is a linear vibration in one dimension with a linear translational motion in a second perpendicular dimension. The result is a compound motion known as radiation. This explains the wave-particle duality. But let's just take a quick look at this article here. Particle and wave-like behavior of light measured simultaneously. Again, this is from Science Daily. What is light made of? Waves or particles? This basic question has fascinated physicists since the early days of science. Quantum mechanics predicts that photons, particles of light, are both particles and waves simultaneously. Physicists now give a new demonstration of this wave-particle duality of photons dubbed The One Real Mystery of Quantum Mechanics by Nobel Prize laureate Richard Feynman. Well, it says here, what is light made of, waves or particles? This basic question, we did all this. So it says, the history of science is marked by an intense debate between the particle and wave theories of light. And it goes in Isaac Newton's theory, James Clerk Maxwell's theory, etc. The fact of the matter is, radiation is a compound motion, a combination of a linear vibration, which is the photon itself, plus the perpendicular space-time progression. That solves the wave-particle duality problem. So we don't have that problem in the reciprocal system. So, that concludes our presentation for today. Again, all of these stories verify, or at least are consistent with, the reciprocal system of theory. Study the reciprocal system and prove it for yourself. The simplest treatment of the reciprocal system is my book, The Unmysterious Universe. The most comprehensive treatment, with thousands of equations, is my work, Existence and Interactions, a computational treatise of the reciprocal system, the true theory of everything. And for those who want to apply the system in practice to both the microcosmos and macrocosmos, there's my reciprocal system database. 2 modules, one for the microcosmos and one for the macrocosmos, so it makes it easy to apply the theory. That does it for today. Thanks for your attention.